Hi, I'm Johnny Bay, coordinator of the International Family Constellation Facilitator Training and Certification. I want to share with you an overview of this really amazing, unique, and prestigious training because there are so many elements of it to understand. I think that if I can give you some of the story around it, that will be helpful if you're looking at participating in the training. And I need my guide. This is the prospectus that if you are interested in the training, we can send to you. The prospectus gives you an overview, certainly, of the origins of the training, the faculty, the scheduling, how amazingly it meets the all time zones. We have in the last 3 years over 300 students from more than 28 countries, and our faculty probably cover around 15 countries. So it's a training that is non-linear and across all time zones. So typically, a 2-day training unit each weekend begins CET time, 1 a.m., and completes at CET time, 9 p.m. So each day is 5 3 or 4 hour training sessions. They're all experiential. This is not just our skilled facilitators and faculty teaching theory, but the capacity, of course, as many would know, for Zoom breakout rooms for experiential exercises is present. 16 hours on each of the 2 days of the training weekends, and 5 sessions each day, 5, 3, and 4 hour sessions, and 10 faculty. So we have 10 very different teachings on the applications of systemic family constellations. Many participants have done other trainings, really wonderful trainings with individual trainers, but they come to this even after those trainings and sometimes as trainers themselves for for exactly that, for the diversity of approaches. So we have some faculty teaching more on the thread of working with symptoms or with organizations or couples relationships or parent-child differentiation processes. It's a broad suite, and the prospectus will give you an idea of that. So that's it. So there are 2 days a month, and in between those 2 days a month of the 10 training sessions, all of those sessions are available after the live sessions via recordings in a learning platform that you log into as a student. You have an access code, and they're always available to you. So the flexibility allows you to tune in at different times. You can't, no one can attend, very rarely can anybody attend all of the sessions on each of the days. That's 16 hours, with only 1 hour breaks in between the sessions. So most people adjust the learning schedule, the learning platform, to their time zone. So all the sessions, the teaching sessions, appear in their time zone. So they can create their program according to their availability for those 2 days, for the waking hours in their time zone. And that works really well, knowing that they miss nothing because they can watch the sessions that they missed as time permits. So effectively, not only is it an incredible training with 35 faculty, but it's a double training effectively. Most trainings are 8 hours each teaching day. This is 16 hours. You can't attend all of them live, but they're available to you for the learning possibilities. This we find just hugely valuable, to be able to include a very diverse student body. Speaking of student body, in between the training days, there is a WhatsApp group. There ends up being quite a few WhatsApp groups where the students gather in different time zones to create practice groups. So the practice groups can be an hour and a half, they can be 2 hours. Someone might come in the WhatsApp group and say, "Oh, I saw Francesca did this beautiful exercise. Who would like to practice that?" And those in a similar time zone will pop in and say, "Yeah, I do that." and so they share Zoom links. This becomes a tremendous source and resource for students, not just during the training, but ongoingly. So not only is it a double training, but it's and 1 year, 9 months or 1 year, but it's also really effectively a 2-year training, because the study and practice groups continue really robustly for at least a year. Optionally, some people don't have the time and space for that. Some are already skilled facilitators and have busy practices, so they don't need that. But for those that do, it's available, and it's a really wonderful ongoing resource. Our first training students, nearly 4 years ago, their WhatsApp group is still continuing. So now they're in practice. Now they have a tricky question. They can come into the WhatsApp group and say, hey, I've come across this. Who would like to give some support? Or I've got a workshop on and I need some representatives. Would you like to come and be part of that? It's a really, really joyful community resource. Yeah, source of delight and community ongoingly. So that's the faculty, most of which are the elders, the most senior in systemic constellations, most teaching for internationally for over 40 years, also from diverse backgrounds themselves. Many have a Gestalt background, some have a psychology or psychiatry background, some have more of a coaching background, some have more of a healthcare, osteopathic, naturopathic background. So there are very diverse backgrounds even for the faculty, but all of them have been learning learning closely from Hellinger in the very original days of the development of constellations. So that's a gold mine, really. They're also, all of the faculty are members of the Council of Elders within the International Association. So as a graduate of the training, you're able to, your first year membership in the International Professional Association for Systemic Constellations, your first year membership is included in your training fee. And this allows you a directory listing, but it ongoingly allows you to access ongoing professional development, collegial connection, mentoring if you choose. And importantly, it adds considerable weight, because when you're talking to clients, you can refer to your listing and the association, the professional association. You can also refer to the Council of Elders and state with a great deal of pride that you have learned from all of these elders. You will have learned from almost all of them, but I think pretty much all of them. So that really gives your certification weight and gravitas, and I think this is this is valuable, but more importantly, it just gives you an understanding of the depth and diversity, the thought and care that's gone into this training now in its 4th year. There's probably a number of other things, but I think that gives you an overview. You don't have to, just to recap, you don't have to attend all Zoom sessions live as described, because you would be exhausted. Um, but there are, and you don't have to, there are also in-person events in different locations around the world. These are not required for certification. So you don't have to attend all of the sessions live. You don't have to attend in person for certification, but you do have to complete assessments. So that's probably the other thing that's important to note, that and the training fees and payment plans available. But there is assessment criteria. You'll find the details of that in the prospectus. They're there to support your learning journey, and you have time and space for you to achieve those. So there's no urgency for you to do those while you're also very absorbed in the actual training sessions and digesting those. It's quite a bit to digest. So there's plenty of time for that, and there's plenty of support for that. Uh, they're clearly listed in the prospectus, so I'll leave those there. The other thing is, in order for us to make this as widely available as possible, it's a huge enterprise to bring online. But in order for us to make it accessible, we do offer a deposit plus payment plan. So if that's something that makes it more manageable for you, you can create a payment plan over 6, 12, or 15 months. In certain circumstances, we can extend that. In certain circumstances, also, there are some partial scholarships available. For that, there is an application form. And I think that covers the assessment. For those that have previously trained in constellations, when I talk about the assessment criteria, if you've already done a training and or you're a trainer yourself, then you can apply for recognition of prior learning, so you don't have to complete any of the assessments that you don't wish to. But many enjoy that process because it just deepens the learning for them. So I think that's the best overview I can give you. And you will also find in the prospectus so many testimonials from previous students, a recommended reading list, an application form, and what else that I might have missed? I think that's the main things. Yeah. So we do hope you'll join us, perhaps. And it's non-linear too, though. So if the timing of the beginning of the training is not suitable, you're welcome to join at another time, depending on your prior experience. It's certainly valuable for anybody that is an existing therapist, healthcare worker, coach, because even if you work in organizations and you are an executive coach working with career and life purpose, everything is or every aspect of our beingness and our relating is impacted by our family system. And so doing this work, many of the students get to the end and they go, oh, and you read some of the testimonials, which are really heartwarming. Many get to the end of the training and say it was the most in-depth, expansive personal development program where they feel they really landed in themselves, that they hold a really solid, more solid center than they ever have in their lives. And on top of that, they have a lot of systemic skills. So it's a very valuable training. We do hope you'll join us. And if you'd like to set up a WhatsApp call to discuss it further, or a Zoom, as the coordinator and the director of the training, it will be my privilege to connect with you. So thank you.